towards where Davy Rogers is up. Rogers swings the left. What a goal by Davy Rogers!
Of a win here for the Reds. Nobody, not one person in this stadium thinks it's going to half-time.
You can see the guards behind the goal at the main stand. They will be investigating Shelbourne for robbery. They have absolutely mugged Treaty United here at
McDonald. Kept alive by Power. Looking for Tucker in the penalty area. Breaks out to Parsons. Parsons looking to back one. What a goal that is! Stunning goal!
It's just connecting. Right. Yeah, there we go. Right, so these are just to build the article so we can have like an introductory section. So what's your favourite food?
Favorite food?
Yeah, a weird one, but
Chili con carne, chili burrito,
chili con carne, yeah.
cook or whopper one.
Movie? Favourite movie?
Godfather.
Sorry?
The Godfather.
Godfather, good choice. Your favourite stadium? Is that even a question though?
Lock.
Yeah.
Comfortably.
Can't beat the atmosphere, can you?
That's unreal. At the minute, Riverside been class this season.
Yeah. Is there a fact supporters may not know about you?
There's one, when I played under 19s, scored an overhead kick in a match. And
Oh,
I
right.
did an interview for the Reds Independent magazine. Apparently none of them knew about it. I thought everyone did, but yeah.
Yeah, I saw that interview in Reds Independent. I tried to make the interview unique, so it didn't I didn't want to copy any of their questions. So, anyways, if you won the lotto, what would be the first thing you bought?
A gaff.
Gaff.
Yeah.
And
Right in there.
who's in charge of the music in the locker room?
Yeah, Wardy's taken over this year, but I'm throwing Boydie's on it. Boydie's during the back.
Lloyd? Yeah, right.
Boydie's a great playlist.
Right, that's perfect, yeah. We'll start with the proper questions now.
Oh,
So, right, obviously a phenomenal start to the season so far. Did you think we'd get off to such a flying start?
I think we were ambitious with our target and that we wanted to win as many games as possible. Obviously the first game against Waterford is a bit of a kick in the teeth with the way the game went in general. But look, you can be as optimistic as you want. 5 wins from 6 games is a good start, and it's probably the best one the club's had in a while. But that's all it is, just a start. So we're happy with it, but there's plenty more work to be doing now.
Yeah. What do you say has been the key to such a strong start to the season?
I think it's just first and foremost that the gaffer and Joey and the staff in general are unbelievable. They set high standards, and I think the key to the start this season has been the buy-in from the players as well as that. So they set high goals, they set serious targets for us and demand a work ethic, but the players have showed proper buy-in to that. So once you get both sides of that coin, then things are only going to be positive.
Yeah. So obviously we've won all 3 Dublin derbies we've played in, 2 of them being away. We have 3 more coming up in April. How are you and the squad feeling for these?
Yeah, they come thick and fast, and there's no game like the Dublin derby. You have to relish playing them. Obviously, the thing about winning the 3 of them is you've now got 3 teams who are going to get, to get even, to make things even, and feel like not make it feel like we have their number or anything like that. So, especially 3 more really, really tense games, really tight games. But hopefully we can take lessons from the good things we did and maybe the not so good things we did in those games to give ourselves the best chance of winning them, because they're never easy. There's never really a guarantee. Form does go out the window a lot of time in the derby, so we won't be taking the fact that we've won those 3 as a given that we're going to win the next. They're going to be just, if not harder than the last 3.
Yeah. Do you or any of the team have any special prep for derbies, or is it just standard like any other game?
I think it'd be foolish to say it is just, it's not any other game for the supporters. We know that. We're aware that they do tend to mean that a little bit more for the supporters. So you have to buy into that understanding of what those games mean to the people who are paying to go watch you every single week. But in terms of your tactical preparation and how you prepare yourself for a game, you should be striving to be operating that as an elite standard as you can going into those games, no matter who you play. So yeah, there's obviously a psychological difference to it, but for us, you have to prepare for the game in any normal way and then just control the atmosphere and control your own emotion when that game starts.
Yeah, thank you. Are you happy with the business Duff has done in the off season transfer wise? Like bringing in Gannon obviously is a huge one. Liam Burt also performing.
Yeah, I think everyone is added to the group. I know people probably haven't seen as much of the likes of Dino and Wardy, but their impact in terms of the standard that they bring to the training session so far, and the impact Dino showed in the few minutes he's had off the bench, and the quality those lads possess can't be understated either. Gano, obviously, his experience speaks for himself, and what he's done is since he's come in is maybe take us to that next level. And the same can be said for John and John O'Sullivan and John Martin. I think everyone who's come in has added something. Another one being Larkin Healy. He's come in and he's really pushed me, trained incredibly well. It's lots of experience in the league, so I hope not missing anyone there. But yeah, every player he's brought in has added something to the team, definitely.
Are you happy with this season's backline?
How could you not be? Yeah, I think not just the lads who have started the bulk of the games, but the lads who have either come off the bench or had to fill in. At times, if there's been an injury or have you, like Griff coming off injured, and I think Paddy missed the first game as well. So, yeah, incredibly hard work and make my job very, very easy as a goalkeeper. And you could not be happy playing in front of them. They're so organised and so confident.
What has been the most challenging part of the season so far?
I think every game is challenging. Like you can't overlook the preparations and dedication that goes into preparing for a Friday night or a Monday night. So each and every game has brought a different sort of challenge, but you can't say that one has been, especially if you look at our results, they've all been quite close-knit games. You couldn't say one has been necessarily more difficult than the other. I suppose the challenge when the more games you win is to keep that consistency going and to keep your feet in the ground and to just not get ahead of yourselves. I think every year in the league, people start to get ahead of themselves. If a team put a few wins together, we're fully focused on the goals we set at the start of the season, and we're fully realistic about our own ambitions. And keeping that momentum going and staying focused on the next short-term goal is a challenge, but it's one we've been doing well so far.
Yeah. What do you enjoy most about the Shelbourne squad, in your opinion?
It's so hard to pick out one thing, but I think one thing that people can overlook sometimes is just going in every day, loving what you do. And I think that feeling is echoed by everyone in the dressing room. It's our job, and you can. I've been in the league a good few years now, and you can't underestimate that feeling of just really, really enjoying what you do every day, really loving going out and playing football and training and the environment in the dressing room. So I think for me, like the thing that I enjoy the most is how much I enjoy it. That's my favorite thing about it, is that it's such a positive place to be playing your football, and to be learning from the experienced coaches that we have is an extra sort of bonus on top of that.
We're moving on to a new section. This one's more about dynamics and management. So it seems since the draw in the Waterford, the team has risen to a new level. Has anything changed in training? Has there been new rituals and of the sort?
No, nothing changed really. I think the thing about this team, and I said it in one of my post match, was the team's bigger and works too hard for one result, be it a good one or a bad one, to cause us to rip up the manual and start changing things. We prepared for the Waterford game in the best way we possibly could. We had a good pre-season. But the first game of the season is always chaos, and sometimes, when you reflect on it, you think it wasn't a bad point after all. If you make the next few weeks count, and I think we did make the next few weeks count. So no, we didn't change anything drastically. Stayed very, very composed and focused on the next game, and I think it was Rovers after that we put in what's probably been one of our best performances of the season.
So how are you and the squad feeling about the upcoming European games that we have?
Have not thought about it at all. Haven't spoken about it. Hasn't been brought up once. And I don't think that's a case of trying to ignore it. It's not
You're
a
trying to
top.
focus on
It's not top priority right now. It's the games aren't for. I couldn't even tell you when the games are, to be honest. July, June.
I think so, yeah.
They're so far away. Far away. So we haven't thought about them. Haven't talked about them. That's for another few weeks down the line before that starts creeping into the mindset. I wish I had a more exciting answer for you, but that's the reality of the situation. Is we're focused on what's ahead of us now.
That's fine, yeah. What is it like being managed under a manager such as Duffer?
Brilliant. Yeah, like I said, he's made this the most enjoyable period of my footballing career so far. Not just his personality and man management, but the standards he sets upon players. I think you don't need me to sit here and tell you tactically and then technically how good he is as a coach, because that's evident. The evidence for that is on the pitch. And the way players have developed, not just sort of this season, but the last couple of seasons. So I think it's an invaluable learning experience for us as players. And as well as that, from my perspective, Paul Skinner, who is an elite goalkeeper coach in this country, helped me develop my game in so many different fronts. And then I suppose the understated Joey O'Brien, who's starting to maybe get him a deserved better reputation within the league now for what his input is, because he's another absolutely relentless in his approach to the game and is trying to develop us and trying to make us better.
You've kind of answered that there, but do you think we have the best backroom staff in the league?
It'd probably be unfair to me to categorically answer that question, because I've only worked under a handful of them.
But are you happy with the?
I love them. I couldn't see how you could go to a level above what they are as a coaching staff. And it's not speaking ill of anyone. Like I said, I've no experience with a lot of the coaching staffs there, but ours certainly has a wealth of experience and knowledge that is just second to none. And I don't think I would look for anyone to come into that coaching staff, certainly at the moment, or I wouldn't be looking for any replacements anywhere. Each of them are unique, but yeah, elite in what they do, definitely.
What has been your most memorable? These are more kind of general questions about your career in Chelsea. What has been your most memorable moment at Chelsea so far?
It's a toss-up. I think my first Dublin derby win in Talker Park, we beat Bowes 1-0. That was my first taste of the Bowes Shells derby. It was an unbelievable atmosphere. Tense game. It was definitely probably a more nervy time, more anxious time for me, just coming into the club. So when we won that game, that was electric. And the win against Drogheda was certainly a big one. Last game of last season. I was injured going in. I missed the UCE game a week before with an injury. But I just really, really wanted to be a part of it that night. We ended up being 2-0 down, but to come back, win 4-2, was probably, in a weird sense, a marker for where the team is this season and how composed we were and how well we played. So to pick, probably those two moments would be the most memorable so far, anyway.
Do you have any methods to keep yourself focused pre-game?
Pre-game, I'm quite relaxed. I've spoke before about I use a kind of a trigger. I write this like trigger word on my wristband. That's just something, a little reminder for me that if I feel like I'm drifting in a game, or if I feel like, even if I've just done something that I'm not happy with, it's just kind of something I've worked on over time to kind of keep me at a steady enough emotional baseline. It's not foolproof, it doesn't work 100% of the time, but I've found over the years that having a little trigger like that just keeps me grounded in big moments, whether they're positive ones or negative ones. But I've spoken before, working with a psychotherapist. I see a psychotherapist every couple of weeks, maybe every 14 days, just to make sure that every week and every game I'm in a good place going into a match.
And Conor, do you personally think what do you personally think sets you apart from other keepers in the league?
I wouldn't say it's for better or for worse, but I feel like especially at Shelbourne, I've maybe carved out my own identity as a goalkeeper. And I'm speaking more in reference to myself as a younger goalkeeper rather than any other keeper. Is I feel very comfortable in my own shoes and my own skin right now. And when I play a game, I don't try to do anything that doesn't come naturally to me.
Yeah,
I don't compare one thing, really enough, in terms of that question, I don't compare myself to other people or other keepers. I just go out and try to play the game as who I am and try and play to the best of my ability. That's not to say that any other goalkeeper is different to me, but I just feel like by almost not comparing myself to keepers in that way, that's what makes me feel like I can set myself apart from them and set my own standards.
Yeah. And then I only have a few more now. This is part of the quick fire question. So, what would be your dream LOI 7-a-side team?
Oh, that's a tough one. Right now,
Yeah, will I jot you in goal or
yeah, I can believe me in goal.
yeah,
I'll just go.
right.
I'll just go with our team now. I'll go Gav, Paddy, Coiler, Jay, Boydie. Jarvy's terrible at 7-a-side. Mike Smith,
Smith.
7 chance players.
Right. So you have Gav, Coyler, Jay, Boyd or Smith. Anyone else? Even one
Gav
more.
and
Yeah, we have Gav.
Gav and Paddy. Drop the two of them.
Paddy? All right. There we go. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Not picking
There.
anyone else from inside the team. Wouldn't disrespect my teammates like that.
Super team for 7-a-side.
All time now that list changes. There'll be some serious characters going into that team from if we're going all time League of Ireland.
Yeah. I will go for current because it's more
Yeah.
relevant to the article. Are you familiar with LOI Talk?
I've seen a few things on Instagram and stuff like that, but I'm actually not on Twitter, so I wouldn't probably see the bulk of stuff that you post because I try to stay off social media as much as I can.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to obviously thank you for doing this because this is huge for the website. What we're trying
It's
we're
great
trying
to
to
see
build,
something. I was like,
yeah,
go on.
we're trying to build a website for the fans that is written by the fans. So it's
Oh,
really, I really appreciate you coming on and doing
Mark,
this.
I'm delighted to do it, and I think the more things like this, the better. Like I said for myself, I try to touch on that stuff just because opinion can change so quickly, and you don't want to be seeing yourself be it a positive or a negative too much. But to see people creating these platforms for supporters is absolutely brilliant, and you should be really proud of playing your part in that, and hopefully it'll continue to grow.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Connor, for coming on.
Thanks very much, Matt. Cheers, having me.